Do do. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hope everybody is having a wonderful evening. So you saw the headlines. We're going to talk about the three decisions. I'm going to give it a couple minutes, let some people get in here. Nick says, I am here. What's going on, Nick? What is going on, my man? I'm going to just notifications just went out. People are coming in. What's going on, guys? Let me check my audio. Make sure my audio is going in pretty well. Test, test, test. All right, that's working good. Nick says I'm here. All right, Nick, what's going on? So y'all saw the comments. Y'all saw the headlines. We're going to talk about the three decisions that you need to make when you get your dealer's license. A couple of people have hit me and said, hey, I just got my dealer's license. Obviously, we're in a pandemic, but you're still rocking and rolling. People are still doing things. You know what I mean? Let's go to the comments here. Nasty Scat says, good to see you, brother. How's business been? It's been good, man. Buddha, what's going on? What's going on? Nasty Scat says, hey man, been watching you. I don't think you've uploaded anything lately. Have you? I have uploaded a couple videos, so definitely go back and watch. But stay tuned to the live stream if you just got your dealer's license. This is going to be pertaining to people that just got their dealer's license. So we'll give it a couple more minutes and we'll jump into it. Also, just so you know, this will be the new live platform moving forward. I'm probably gonna not do too many lives out in the field right now because I don't have 1,000 subscribers. So with that being said, I can't actually use the YouTube mobile app out in the field. So I have this crazy choppy app that for some reason don't like to live stream on YouTube, but it's designed to live stream on YouTube. But that's no here nor there. So just know that this is going to be our setup for our live. I'm going to transition my channel more towards like educational and actually just having conversations with you. So if you're watching this, grab a notebook, grab something if this pertains to you, so that you can watch, take notes, and be prosperous. Also, you can also watch it back. If my eyes are down here, I'm looking at the screen. I'm not looking at the camera. So yeah, hopefully that don't get to you too bad. So let's jump right into it. There will be a point. I will open it up for comments, and I'll put your comments on the screen and all that after I do each of my three top things for you guys. So let's just jump into it. So if you don't see me commenting on your comments while we're talking, that's because I will do it at a certain section once I'm done explaining my point. Number one thing you need to do, the number one decision you need to make, or I guess I should have did it from like at least the priority is not the issue here, but it is. So the order that I'm going to give it to you is the order that I think you should do it. Number one, know who you are serving. Okay. It is going to be extremely difficult to do the used car business if you don't know who you're serving, because the used car business, every customer has a type of car, right? So you have to know the customer that you want to serve so that you can know what type of inventory that you need to buy for your car lot. Okay. So if you just hit me within the last couple of days and say, hey, I just got my dealer's license, I think it's Kentucky Vlogs. And there was one more. I want to say it's DeMarcus. This is a small YouTube channel, so I know y'all by name, at least by Facebook name. And we're not Facebook, YouTube names. And all of you guys, I mean, I read your comments personally. Yeah, let's see. So Kentucky Vlogs says, I just got my dealer's license and hope to receive them in the mail pretty soon. So this is for you, Kentucky Vlog. Jamarco Thomas as well. He's a new sub. He's actually a new sub. He didn't say he just got his dealer's license. He's just a new sub. There was one more person, but I can't seem to find him. Anyway, first thing you need to do is know who you are serving, right? So know who you're serving is going to help you pick out the right type of vehicles. It's also going to help you lay out your expectations for your car lot. There are obviously more people with lesser amount of money than there are with more money, right? With a greater number or greater amount of money. So, and then also, if you're gonna do buy here, pay here, which is similar to what I do, or are you gonna go financing only, or are you gonna go cash only, right? So you gotta know who you're serving right off the bat. Hopefully, before you apply for your dealer's license, you had an idea of this question of who you're gonna serve, because everything flows from there. And if I'm sweating, I got lights all on me, so disregard the sweat. Just turn the air on. But so yeah, know who you're serving. Okay, know who you're serving. That's number one, because that's gonna help you pick out the right vehicles. It's gonna help you do a lot of different good decisions. Okay, so if you don't know who you're serving, you're gonna be fundamentally flawed, and every decision you make from that point is not gonna like be in sync with your ultimate goal, because you really don't have one if you don't know who you're serving. Okay, so know who you're serving, number one thing. But like I was saying, hopefully you had a business plan, you had a structure to know, hey, I'm gonna buy these type of vehicles that are gonna serve these type of customers, and I'm gonna finance them, in-house financing, or they're gonna have to go and obtain their own financing, or I'm gonna be strictly cash for the first 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, year, whatever the case may be. Okay, know who you're serving, number one thing. Second thing I want you to do is find your local independent auto auctions. If you are in anywhere in the Southeast, Tennessee, South, North Carolina, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, if you're right in that, in that little Southeast corridor there, region of the country, find the independent dealers, independent auctions, because that's going to give you the most practical grace to learn. Okay, because when you go to Manheim, Odessa, these big auto auctions, there are people there that are dealing with floor plans. There are people there that has an unlimited amount of money. So you're going to be right off the bat with a brand new dealer's license with no policies and procedures, no proof of success, and you're going to be competing to buy these cars from, or competing with people that has endless amount of money. That's not to say that the local independent auto auctions don't have people with money, but it's to say that most people that are very successful in the car business or have a niche in the car business, they're going to mostly deal with the big major auto auctions. They're not really going to dibble and dabble with the small mom and pops like the small independent dealers will. Okay, so definitely scout out within about 40 miles, I would say 40 to 50 miles from your home, from your base. Find your independent auto auctions. And the reason why I say that is, number one, is because of the competition from the bigger dealers. Number two, typically your independent auto auctions are going to have lesser fees. So your buy fee is going to be cheaper than they would be if you're going to, say, Manheim or IAA or Copart, right? Everything from the start is going to be trying to have it the easiest way possible so that you can get the largest learning curve possible, right? Because just because you got your dealer's license does not prove that you can be successful in the car business. It does not. It has no bearings on will you be successful. It just says that you know how to read an application and follow instructions and submit a packet. And you have money to submit the packet and money to buy your dealer bond and money to buy your insurance. That's all obtaining the dealer license says. It says nothing about the success for your future in the business that you own. Okay, so finding a local independent auto auction is going to give you a little bit of grace for you to learn and for you not to compete with the big boys, for you to have lesser amounts in buyer fees, because that's going to be very important for you to keep your return on investment high. The less you pay in fees, the more your profit, the higher margin you have now for profit, right? The more you pay out to buy the car, it shrinks your profit. A vehicle only has a certain number right? It is regardless of what you want to do, how much you need. None of that matters when you go to the auto auction to buy a car. None of that matters. Like, I want to pay only $500 for this car. Great. Or I want to pay $500 and I want to sell it for $3,000. You may want to sell it for $3,000, but the car may be only worth $1,500, right? So now you have a profit margin of about $1,000, right, of pure money, but you have to value your time and going to the auction. So some people use packs to where they tack on $200 to every piece of inventory that's stocked in their lot. So they say $700 is their initial investment. And so if you do it from that metric, you've lost $200, so you only have a profit of $800, right? So the lower your cash position, the better your profit, right? That's pretty basic math, okay? So find your local independent auctions. That should be the second thing you do after you have established who you're serving. Because who you're serving, number one, is going to dictate what type of cars you buy at the auction. Because if you're serving entry level, entry luxury, like entry level to luxury, so like pre-owned Mercedes, BMWs, Audis, right? That's a different clientele than what I serve, which are A to B customers. I only serve A to B people with horrible credit that just absolutely need a car. Now, my strategy could change, but whatever you decide to do, have that as your plan, work your plan around that, and progress. Okay? So that's the second thing you need to do is find your local independent auctions. The third thing you need to do is craft your policies and procedures so scaling up can be possible. When you first open your car lot and when you first get your dealer's license, right? It is a very emotional time because this is something that you want to do. This is something that you know that you can be successful in. You're passionate about cars, obviously. You have a business acumen to where you know that you can actually take money and make money with that money, right? You can flip a profit. At least you have to have an idea that you can do that because that's what the dealer's license is designed for you to do. The legal way. So crafting your policies and procedures will help you scale up to where you can actually hire a salesperson to manage your front end, right? Your marketing, your sales process, right? They can do all of that stuff while you handling the back end, the title clerk, and paying your taxes, and going at inventory acquisitions, going to the auctions, staffing your lot, right? Or stocking your lot. In order for you to be able to bring somebody into your car lot and expect them to actually do a good job, you have to know what that good job, what it looks like, and how do we get there. And that's what your policies and procedures are going to do. It's going to say, this is the right way to do this job. This is the wrong way to do it. So after you have established who your clientele is, you have established a base for you to buy your vehicles. Now you have to just craft your policies and procedures. What does the sale process look like, right? So I'm going to give you some examples of your policies and procedures. Number one, your policy, one policy in your policies and procedures manual should focus on your sales process, right? How, depending on who you serve, your sales process could be different. For me, my sales process is A to B cars. We sell A to B cars to people with bad credit. So our sales process is something like, number one, identifying that this person meets our requirements as far as they're not looking for something that they're going to drive from Columbus to Atlanta every day, which is about 100 miles, 110, 115 miles a day. If they're not, if they say they're doing that, they're not our clientele, because our cars, not to say that the type of cars I sell won't go 110 miles. That's not what I'm saying. But the type of cars that I sell are not designed to carry that much that amount of mileage daily. Okay, A to B, like you live like down the street from your house, so 10, 15, 30-minute commute, there and back, an hour a day, right? So understanding the type of clients that's gonna buy your cars, basically, is what I'm saying. So your sales process would consist of identifying them. So when they come to your lot, you need to be able to know that this is my clientele, or no, sorry, we don't sell the type of cars you're looking for, but you can go down the road and find that lot. The second thing is, once you have identified that person that is your clientele, okay, well, how do we communicate with them? How do we build? So obviously, when you're hiring somebody as your salesperson, hopefully they have sales experience and they understand how important it is to build a rapport with the person as soon as they come on the lot. Because in order for someone with sales, the only thing we're doing is persuading someone to see something from our perspective, right? So I have identified that you are someone that should be able to see it from my perspective. I'm an expert on you. I know what you're looking for, right? You're at a car lot where I have multiple options for what you're looking for. Now I just got to break it down to say, hey, I know who you are. I see you. I identify, and find a way to build that rapport with that person, right? So that's a part of your sales flow. So that should be in your policies and procedures manual, so that when you hire someone, you can expect they will know what you expect of them. Okay. Another reason why having a policies and procedures manual is so important is because if something were to happen to you, for instance, and you're married, your wife can have a handbook and say, hey, this is the way my husband did it, especially if your wife is not in your business, like not working the business with you. That is a way for you to make sure to guarantee that at least the wheels don't just fall off. Okay. But that will give you the opportunity to be able to bring someone else in to help you. Okay. If you do not craft your policies and procedures, what you'll have is I alone can run this business. I'm the only one that knows how it goes. I'm the only one to know, and the only one that can keep the train on the trail, on the track. And that's not what you want, especially if you want to build a business to where you're not just creating a job. Because that's going to be one of our topics soon is, okay, am I getting my dealer's license to just create a job for myself, or am I getting my dealer's license to build an empire for myself? Because those are two separate paths. The path of I'm creating a job says that I'm not going to set up policies and procedures. I'm not going to hire staff because this is my job. I don't want to split my money. I don't want to split my profits with nobody. I'm going to be everything. But what you'll soon find out that if you are successful, if you have created the right niche, right, and identified the right clientele and identified the right auction to where you can go, and every time you go or every other time you go, you're getting people, you're getting not people, you're getting cars that match for your people at the price that you need them to be, then you're going to see that train is moving and you're going to need some help. You can't do it all by yourself. All right. So let me break off from this. Let's go to the comments. All right. All right, we got a question from here. Wally Ali says, yes, I agree. Find independent auctions. I don't use Manheim and Odessa as much as I do to other local auctions. Absolutely. You know, I think that Odessa and Manheim are great auctions if you are experienced and you have went through at least those first two things. You know who you're serving, and you know that you've had experience at an independent auction, so you know what the prices are, and that you're not pushing yourself to a number that is inflated due to competition. There's dealers with $500,000 floor plans. They will bid on vehicles to retail. Absolutely. So when you go to those big auctions, you're in there with sharks. Just understand that, you know. Plan your work and work your plan. Okay. Examine the vehicles closely if you can. That's a must. Like if you can examine your vehicles closely, then you don't need to buy them. Now, what I mean by closely, because closely is relative to whoever is processing it. Closely to me, since we're talking about this, and it's a little off topic, but I'll talk about it. if you have not crunk up the vehicle, confirm that the engine does not knock or tick that you don't know of. And honestly, if you have a mechanic that can fix problems like that, fine, do it. But you need to be aware of it, right? So crank the vehicle. Does the transmission works? You know, are all of the gears operable? All of the gears, reverse, drive. If it has a low or one or two, are they engaging? How many times have you cycled the vehicle off and on? That's so important. Don't just jump in the car, crank it up one time, here it runs. Oh, this runs good, and turn it off and go bid on it. No, crank it up again, cycle it a couple times. So make sure you cycle a couple times. If if it's not at operating temperature, right? So if you're looking at the temperature gauge, if the temperature gauge is not in halfway or at least a quarter of the way, if it does not have any type of coolant or I don't take water. If it doesn't have coolant or some type of antifreeze or coolant in there, I wouldn't buy it. Okay, that's a bad sign. Okay, especially if you have not gotten it up to operating temperature and you're seeing that it's holding. Okay. And then making sure that the cosmetics are appropriate, right? One of the things that a lot of people make a mistake in is when you're bidding on a line and you see one side of the car and the other side of the car has some type of body issue and you didn't even know it, right? Because you didn't look at the car closely. So those are some tips I'll give you there. How did you find your locations? All right, we'll talk about that in a second, Rico. Wally Ali, my overhead is cheap, cheap, cheap. I don't have employees. It's just me and my partner and my wife. We pay no employment and profit goes to our pockets. Not hiring until I absolutely need to. There you go. But the goal is that here's the key. You have people that's helping you, right? So your wife and your partner, then yeah, 3 people can definitely do it. I don't know what roles are delegated to what, but yeah, for sure, for certain. So let's go to Rico Baca. Okay, Baca. How did you find your location? I found my location actually on Craigslist. I had a location already established and operating in Mableton, Georgia. And I was browsing Craigslist for a location in Columbus or Alabama. And I'll tell you why I did that. I live in Atlanta, and I decided to leave Georgia as far as my dealership because Georgia has emissions, and Alabama is an emission-free state. So there are no state inspections. There are no emissions, at least as of September 2nd, 2020. And so it made it just a no-brainer for me to leave the state of Georgia because it fit the state laws fit my clientele. I sold A to B cars that they crank up, the transmission works, the AC works. Some of them, they may not, the AC may not work, but needless to say, they weren't perfect vehicles. Some of them may have had it, may need sensors. Some of them may need catalytic converters. Some of them may need all kind of little small things, but it does not prohibit the vehicle from running. So Alabama served me. Okay. And so that's why, that's how I found the location on Craigslist. And that's why. All right. What's your least and maximum you'd purchase vehicles for your A to B cars? A good question. So the minimum is free. The minimum is, there is no minimum, right? If I get a car for $200, I've bought the lowest I bought a car that actually ran, I think was like $400. That actually ran, and I really didn't have to do anything to it, was $400. The max I will go before, well, I'm not even gonna say before COVID because I really don't do it even with COVID, is $1,500. The absolutely max is $1,800, and that's if I am rocking and rolling and we have exceeded our sales goals for that week. So we have some extra capital there, and the demand is high, and so but that's how, yeah. So the least that I've bought so far is 400. The max I like to stay is about 1,500. Okay. So yeah, let's let's recap. So the very first thing you need to do after you've got your dealer's license is know who you're serving. Find an independent auto auction. Really? Offer up. 3, craft your policies and procedures so scaling up can be possible. Okay. So I hope that this content helps you out, especially if you've just gotten your dealer's license, because I think that these 3 things will definitely put you above the curve as far as kind of brainstorming. Okay, well, I've got my dealer's license. What do I do now? Right? Because I've been there before. I mean, however, when I applied for my dealer's license, I had a pretty good vision of what I was going to do. I knew I was going to work with A to B cars. I knew that I needed to buy them cheap so that I could profit as much as I could. Because when I got into the business, I didn't have a whole lot of money to get into it. I think I probably had, to buy inventory, I think I probably had like $7,000 or something like that to just buy inventory with. So I had to be very conservative in what I bought, and I had to flip it very fast. And that's why if you go back to my YouTube videos, man, you'll see that I sell my vehicles pretty very fast in comparison to some dealers because of the way I price the vehicles and the way I buy the vehicles, because you make your money when you buy the cars. I'm sure you've heard that over and over and over and over again from other people. So yeah, so if you got any questions at this point, go ahead and fire away. I'm going to be on here for a couple more minutes. We're going to keep it at about 30 minutes. And then I'm going to go on with my evening. And yeah, so if you have more comments, let me know. But that's all I have for you as far as the prepared 3 tips that you need to do. Let's see. Also, another thing I would say is just, take your time, right? Obviously, take your time. The big question is getting your license in the middle of a pandemic. I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know how that feels to you. You know what I mean? I don't know. But here's what I do know. The prices right now are not reflective of where they should be. That is a fact. Okay. So do with it what you will, what you please. I'm not discouraging you to get your dealer's license right now, but I'm just telling you that the prices at auctions right now are not reflective of true valuation, and is not reflective. And it's not reciprocated on the buyer side. For instance, like if you're trying to do what I do, okay. So if you like Grind Reloaded and you saw some of my flips and you seen some of the type of cars I bought and you seen how much money I made on the vehicles, and you're trying to do something close to that, I don't think it's a good idea. Not right now. Not if you're brand new. I don't think it's a good idea. Prices are just they're just bad. They're just bad. Like this week. This is the week of so Monday was the 1st. Yeah, Monday was the 1st. No, Monday was the 31st. So this week I haven't bought not one single vehicle this week. And we have 4 cars on the lot right now for sale. They're just high. And I refuse to pay the prices for them. I refuse. Buddha says one more thing, network with other dealers. So yeah, you can definitely try to network with other dealers, especially the ones that are a little bit up above what you're selling, because you can just wholesale from dealer to dealer. If you can try to get a relationship like that. That is I will say this though, I will just preference it and say that's a very old school tactic. It can still happen. It can still happen. I have not found it to be successful, but again, I haven't really devoted my time and effort and energy in cultivating relationships with other dealers for the purpose of buying some of their inventory. before it goes to auction. So I mean, if you can work that, then definitely that's something that you can do. For your dealer's insurance, do you have a minimum or full coverage? Should we get a minimum when opening and maybe go full coverage down the road? Good question. So when I first started out, I had the very minimum, very, very minimum. I said to the insurance lady, I said, listen, I need just the minimum for the state. Because in order for you, I'm a true believer on you don't know what you don't know. So it's good to have good intentions and to say, I'm going to get these dealer's license and I'm going to be successful and it's going to be great and my life is going to be happy ever after, right? It's great to go in with that type of mindset, but you need to be cautiously optimistic though, right? Meaning that if you have an opportunity to do things on a smaller scale in the beginning, take that opportunity because you want to make sure that this is going to work for you. So when I first started out, I had the very, very minimum state requirements just to qualify. After about, I think, 8 months of being in the business, I actually stepped up to full coverage. And that's how I transitioned. So my first answer to your question would be, I would say do the minimum until you have proven yourself and you've proven with money. You've made money, okay? And then, you should move up to full coverage down the road. Blackheart says, hey, man, how you doing, Blackheart? I haven't seen you on the live lately. Hope you're well. He says, when, let me not say he, because I don't know if Blackheart is female or male. I will retract that. Blackheart 380 says, when do you see auction prices getting back to normal? That's a good question. I don't know. I really thought that we were on a downward trajectory last week. I really was optimistic, and I think they are curving. I think that probably by the end of September we will be down significantly. But here's the catch: here's the catch. November, December for the car business, historically proven data, facts, is very, very slow. Okay. January is even worse because people are holding out until they get their tax money. So November, December is a very tough time for the car business. So I don't foresee us getting down to the prices probably until like maybe the end of September, which you only have like October, right? And so I don't necessarily think that it's going to be fruitful even in that period. Okay. Yeah. Nick Hoffman says, are you using Wayne Reaves software? How expensive? So yes, I am using Wayne Reaves software. I think Wayne Reaves is I want to say about $100 a month. And I have enjoyed using Wayne Reaves. I think that Wayne Reaves is definitely a good software. It's a little laggy if you don't have a good computer. So if you find it laggy, I would say definitely evaluate if you can evaluate your technology and see if you can maybe bump up to a better CPU. But the reason I enjoy it is because I actually, like I said, I live in Atlanta. Okay, my car lot is in Phoenix City, 100 miles away. So I need to be able to go over to my computer and log in and pull records, do my audits, do my reconciliations, do all of that stuff from where I am. Frazier, you can't do that unless you're at the lot. Okay. I've used Dealer Center as well, and Dealer Center was just watered down. I didn't feel like I was using a DMS. And so I agree, or I stuck with Wayne Reaves. And so it's $100 a month, I believe. And it's a very intuitive system, and it gives you that flexibility to be able to log in wherever you are. Also, when I had my multiple car lots, I had 3 car lots at one point. And it was so easy to be able to bounce back and forth between the dealerships all in one place. So that is another reason why I decided to go with Wayne Reaves in the beginning. So Nick Hoffman said after the election, I think he was pertaining to he was pertaining to the prices going back to normal. So yeah, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough at the end of the year to really make a profit, unless something just strangely happens. And we are in a recession, and so anything can happen. And I don't want anybody to take what I say on my lives like the wrong way. I'm not being Debbie Downer about the car business, but I'm just being, you know, just cautious. Just be mindful that things are just weird. So if you have not devoted your money to it, just hold off. But then again, my pastor, for those of you guys that are spiritual, some of you guys may not be, but my pastor said, hey, and this is crazy that he said this today because I intend to do the live today. So maybe it's just, he says, hey, now is the right time. If this is your vision, this is what you want to do it, commit to it. So hey, so to each his own. But I would just say that if I had to make a decision to submit my license today, knowing what I know, I wouldn't do it. Okay. Wally, Ali, and I'm going a little bit over. So, but good. Keep the questions coming, guys. I mean, as long as I got questions coming in, I'm all yours. Wally Ali says, "Are you familiar with ACV auctions, the online only auction?" Absolutely, right? ACV is started out to be a very good auction for me. I really enjoyed the comfort and convenience of being able to buy cars wherever I was. I got really spoiled with ACV, especially when I was working at my Atlanta location, because all of the cars were like really close. I had my own transporter. $80, was it $80 or 85? No, I think $80. $80 to move a car anywhere. So I could buy a car in Cartersville, which is about a good 60 miles from my lot, $85 or $80, whatever it was, right? So I really enjoyed ACV auction. When I tried to work it for my lot in Phoenix City, it became very, 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 very stressful for transportation. Like if I bought a car in over in what is this, near Talladega, I think the little city is called, what is that little place called? Oxford. There are a couple dealerships in Oxford, Alabama that uses ACV faithfully. And ACV, for you guys that are watching this for the first time, that may be getting ready to get your dealer's license or want to go this route, ACV auto auction is a mobile auction. So it's on your phone. Okay. You set up parameters and like you can do it based on radius, make and model, price range, and literally there are auctions all throughout the day. The auctions are timed, 20-minute auctions, and you just click on, once it notifies you on your phone that the vehicle is there for auction. If you want it, you can bid on your phone. They give you full CRs, conditional reports, which tells you, does the car run? Are there any check engine lights? What are the codes? Anything wrong with the transmission? All of that stuff, right? And so I think that ACV auction is a great platform when things were normal. Now ACV auction is just a bunch of bull crap because the prices are just crazy. And it's like they're just like every other auction. It used to be ACV auctions, you could catch some deals. And it was convenient because you didn't have to go and sit at when you get your dealer's license, you'll find out that the time that it takes for you to go to these auctions, look at these cars, stand on the block, lose the cars because they went for crazy prices. You will love ACV auction, right? After you've done a couple of those, because it's just so time consuming. All right. Don't mean to stay tied up on that question too long. My bad. Josh Shelley. Hey, Raymond. Finally catching you live. Hey, man. Glad to see you. Glad to see you caught me. That's why I have buy here, pay here. On those slow months, I still have cash flow. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is the perk of buy here, pay here. And I tell people all of the time, especially some of my friends that's in the business now, I tell them all the time, I'm not making, some like right now, this week and last week for Deal Mart, it's been rough. It's been rough. Okay. But I've been able to meet all my financial objectives as well as pay myself with, my weekly notes. So buy here, pay here definitely has its perks, but it also has its headaches. Okay. And that's like with everything in life. If you're never going to get something that's like perfect without any type of drama that's associated with it. Something, So, all right. Nick says, if we can afford it, November through January, it's time to stock up on inventory. That way you're ready for tax season sales. That's how it used to be. We'll see how it goes this year. I agree with you, Nick. I was planning on freeing up tons of cash for the slow months and hold inventory until I put my I'll take your tax money checks as my down payment. Yeah, I would just say that would work if the prices come down. Yes, that will work. But if the prices are still up there, it doesn't make sense to do that because you're just basically paying inflation like crazy. And when the correction happens and people say, I'm not going to pay that price, then you're kind of stuck with it. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank y'all for tuning in live with me. It's been a pleasure. And I hope to do this again. I will say this, I will try to do this as much as I can. Being in my basement here, my studio, I guess you could say, and just chit chat with y'all. So I think next week's topic, or I don't know if I'm gonna try to do this every week or like twice a week, just having a topic where I give you some tips and tricks and stuff like that. I don't know yet, but just keep a lookout. So definitely make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Also, if you're watching this, hopefully you've given me a like on this video so we can get some other folks to watch it here and there. But until then, man, you guys take care. Take those tips, those 3 decisions that you need to make when you've just gotten approved for your dealer's license, put them in play. And even if you've already gotten your dealer's license, if you can't answer those 3 questions, you need to go and evaluate it, right? If you can't tell me who you serve, if you can't tell me and name a couple of independent auto auctions in your area or close by you within driving distance, and if you don't have a policies and procedures handbook set up for your lot, you need to get on it, okay? Because get on it. All right. Thank y'all for your time, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.